And yet, these pipsqueaks on the Western side, or semi-imbeciles in the case of Biden, almost certainly demented, they're never done talking about war. They're never done threatening people. And they're even...
They haven't figured out... George, they haven't figured out that Russia is not Serbia. Russia is not Iraq. You know, these people are drunk on 30 years of easy victories over relatively small countries that could not effectively defend themselves. That's not Russia. Their resources are in abundance. You can't isolate Russia. Russia's economy is large enough and important enough for China, for India, for the rest of the world that we can't possibly isolate it and stop them from trading and expanding. Their economy, as you know, is doing much better than anybody in Europe. And I would argue if you look at their sovereign debt, it's almost minuscule compared to ours, which is crushing. So, you know, there was no serious thinking invested in this proposition. People wanted to bully Russia. They've been trying to bully Russia for 20, 30 years. The 2014 coup that installed this illicit regime in power that's full of hatred for Russia was manna from heaven for Washington. It thought it could build up an attack force in Ukraine that could destroy Russia. And they poured lots of money and training and equipment into it. But they always underestimated Russia. They behaved as though this was just another developing country that could be crushed underfoot. Didn't work. It's not going to work.
Yeah, that begs a question then. Are we ruled by fools or knaves? I'm not sure which would be worse, but are they so stupid they imagined that Russia would be so isolated, would be rolled over, that they can defeat Russia and China? Is this because they're fools, or do they know the truth and are merely extorting the rest of us, playing some kind of fatal poker game?
Well, I think you've described all of it. Certainly we have our share of fools, there's no question about that. People that don't understand what the word war actually means. I mean, we haven't seen a real war, knockdown, drag out wars for what, 80 years? And so people have lost their fear of it. Americans don't understand. The war can come here. Russia can escalate horizontally. We are not sitting in splendid isolation, immune to attacks from Russia. And I'm not talking about nuclear weapons. I'm talking about a whole range of capabilities. Americans have no idea. The people in Washington are out of touch with reality. They have been sitting on top of the mountain for so long, they've lost sight of the people struggling to climb the mountain below them. So I think it's a combination of everything you said. Along with the death of integrity in terms of reporting and news, we've had the death of strategy. No one establishes attainable objectives. No one balances ends against means. We'd launch impulsively in a direction and expect the whole world to follow. I think we're marching ourselves into oblivion, frankly.
Many people watching this will be actually gasping and wishing that you yourself were in the White House. I do hope you'll consider that, Colonel. But lastly, you mentioned Putin. Well, I hope you think about that again. But